Good morning, children. I am Mrs. Mahi Javeria, taking Physical Science for Class 9th. I welcome you all to the first session of Unit 2 Motion. I hope you all are in good health. Are you all sitting in front of the devices and watching my video? If yes, you all are at rest. In case you have played my video and are moving around in the house, into the kitchen to see as to what your mother is cooking, or into the drawing room, or in the dining hall, then you all are not at rest, but you are in motion. So today I'll be discussing about what is motion. Motion is a combined property of the observer and the body which is being observed. A body is said to be in motion when its position is changing continuously with time relative to the observer. In the given figures, we see two friends, Somesh and Srinu, standing beside a road, talking to each other. There is a tree in the picture and also a moving car with a passenger in it. You see in the second picture, what is the state of motion of the tree with respect to Somesh and Srinu? Yes, the tree is at rest. What is the state of motion of the driver and passenger in the car with respect to Somesh and Srinu? They are in motion. They are moving towards east. How are we able to tell this? Because the position of the car with the driver and passenger is changing with time. So they are in motion. Now look at the first picture. What is the state of motion of the tree with respect to the passenger? The tree is moving towards west with respect to the passenger. What is the state of motion of Somesh and Srinu with respect to the passenger? They are also moving towards west. Now, what is the state of motion of the driver with respect to the passenger? He is at rest. So, it is clear that the tree is at rest with respect to Somesh and Srinu, and it is moving due west with respect to the passenger. Now I'll be telling you all what actually is a physical quantity before going deep into motion. What is a physical quantity? A physical quantity that can be measured. It can be differentiated into two types based on magnitude and direction: scalar quantity and vector quantity. A scalar quantity is a physical quantity which has only magnitude but no direction. Example: mass, distance, speed. A vector quantity is a quantity which has both magnitude and direction. Example: weight, displacement, velocity, etc. A vector can be represented as a directed line segment. Its length indicates the magnitude and the arrow indicates its direction. Point A is called tail and point B is called head of the vector. Now we'll be seeing what is distance and what is displacement. The actual path covered by an object in a given time interval is known as the distance. It is a scalar quantity. Its SI unit is meter, whereas displacement is the shortest distance covered by an object in a specified direction. Since it is based on direction, it is a vector quantity. Its SI unit is meter. Now you see in the figures, in figure 1, the displacement is AB, the red line that is, whereas the distance covered is the curve ACB, which is black in color. So there is a difference between distance and displacement. Here, distance is the actual path which is covered by the body from A to B through C, whereas displacement is the shortest distance between these 2 points, that is A and B. Therefore, the red line AB is the displacement. In the second figure, consider a square path of unit 1. If we travel from A to B the distance is 1 unit and displacement is also 1 unit. But when we move further to C, the distance will be 2 units and displacement will be the diagonal, that is AC, because AC is the shortest distance between A and C, which is equal to root 2 units. We get the displacement as root 2 units by applying Pythagoras theorem. Further, if we move from C to D, the distance will be 3 units and displacement will be just 1 unit, because it is the shortest distance between A and D, which is AD equal to 1 unit. When we come back to A, that is the starting point, the distance covered will be 4 units and the displacement will be 0, because displacement here is the shortest distance from the starting point and ending point, and the object is coming from starting from A and coming back to A itself. Hence, the displacement is 0. So whenever we are coming back to the starting point, then the displacement in all these cases will be 0. Now let's see what is speed and velocity. Speed gives the idea of how fast the body moves. It is the distance covered per unit time. And the average speed can be calculated by taking the total distance into consideration. What is velocity? Velocity is the speed of an object in a specified direction. It is the rate of change of displacement. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. And the total average velocity can be taken as total displacement by total time. When we see the differences between speed and velocity, speed is the distance traveled by an object in a given interval of time, whereas velocity is the displacement of an object in a given interval of time. Since speed is dependent only on magnitude, it is a scalar quantity, and velocity on the other hand, which depends on both magnitude and direction, is a vector quantity. Speed can never be negative, but it can be zero. On the other hand, velocity can be negative, positive, or equal to 0. The SI unit of speed is meter per second, and also the velocity has the SI unit as meter per second. Now let's do a few problems. What is the average speed of the car if it covers 200 kilometers in 5 hours? So the solution to this problem is the total distance covered by the car is given as 200 kilometers and the time taken is 5 hours. So the average speed is equal to total distance by time taken, which is equal to 200 by 5, which is equal to 40 kilometers per hour. Coming to the next question, a train of length 250 meters is moving with a constant speed of 10 meter per second. Calculate the time taken by the train to cross an electric pole and a bridge of length 250 meters. Before starting the answer, I would like to tell you all that the train here is crossing a bridge and it is also crossing an electric pole. In the first figure you see the train has to cross a bridge of 250 meters. So the distance traveled by the train to cross the bridge should be equal to the length of the bridge as well as length of the train, which will be equal to 250 plus 50 meters, which is equal to 300 meters. So the train has to cover a distance of 300 meters to cross the bridge. In the second figure you see a train and the electric pole. The train has to cross the electric pole. So here the distance traveled by the train to cross the electric pole will be just its length, which is 50 meters. So now let's solve the problem. Length of the train is 50 meters. Speed of the train is equal to 10 meter per second. We know speed is equal to distance by time. Therefore, time will be equal to distance by speed. So the time taken by the train to cross the electric pole is equal to 50 by 10, which is equal to 5 seconds. So the train takes 5 seconds to cross the electric pole. Now we'll solve what is the time taken by the train to cross the bridge. So here the distance traveled by the train will be 250 plus 50, which is equal to 300 meters. So 300 meters divided by 10 meter per second. So we'll get the answer as 30 seconds. Therefore, the time taken by the train to cross the bridge is 30 seconds. I hope you all have understood both the problems. So, today's assignment for you all is, what is a vector quantity? Give examples. The second question, write the differences between speed and velocity. And the third question, what is the displacement of a body if it returns to the same point from where it started? Thank you.